And we are back, episode 7 of the GMA Beyond the Fight podcast. God's Martial Arts, MMA promotion that truly celebrates ancient martial arts traditions while treating fighters as celebrities. We have a special guest with us today, Sov Men, the founder and head coach at the Ring Kun Khmer in Cambodia, who represents the ancient martial art of Kun Khmer. Sov Men, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's such an honor to have you in our promotion at GMA 5 this past weekend, man. Oh my gosh.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here today. I'm so glad I was here this weekend and had the opportunity to bring my fighter here in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh. It was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, God's Martial Arts, we're a new promotion.
Yes.
You know, we had our first event in August of last year, and, you know, we have a great team here. An amazing team with a high pedigree of promotion and everything like that. What was your impression of God's Martial Arts in your first time here?
Actually, I was quite impressed. I was really impressed how you dealt with the event. When you contacted me months ago, like how it was prepared, you can see it wasn't rushed. You know, like you can see like it was prepared, all the details that you can see, all the fighters and their gym was well represented, their countries. Each fighter has their own music, you know, these kind of small things that make it special, you know, like, and I loved it. I really loved it. And especially I was so impressed about the fact that you had to do the event even a day earlier, you know, with what happened. And you made it. And when you see it outside, you can't see that it was 24 hours like before, like the regular date.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So I was really, really impressed about what you did, guys, here.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, it was something that we never expected. You know, this was a Vietnamese national tragedy that no one expected.
Of course.
And you know, we didn't know until the night before. You know, it's a government like rule or government law. So what's at stake is fighters' health, because instead of having 36 hours of recovery, you know, you have 8 or 10. And that's a big difference, you know, for our viewers who are new to martial arts and wrestling and things like that. You know, I was a wrestler growing up in jiu-jitsu. You know, you weigh in right before you fight.
Yes.
So you're not going to cut as much weight. It's a big difference when you have 36 hours of recovery. You're going to cut a lot of weight, and then you find out now you got 8. So, but I was very impressed by you guys, all the teams that, you know, everyone was healthy. You know, everyone handled it very well. So
I think we understood also, you know, like it wasn't the fault of the organization. It was just like something from the government. So of course we have to deal with it, and we didn't want to, you know, like, oh, we have to fight before, so, you know, don't do it. You know, like we tried to find the best way, and you did everything also like on your part to be sure that the fighters are safe. You know, like, and this is what I like, you know, like you care about it. It's not just like we need to do the event anyway, so just follow our rules. No, you care about the health, and this is what I appreciate.
Yeah, thank you
guys.
Hey, that means a lot. That means a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, so here we are. This is also the venue for Ling Phom.
Yes.
And Ling Phom is one of the more established MMA gyms in Vietnam. And one of the most traditional, also started by Johnny 10 years ago.
Wow.
And Johnny is all about preserving traditions. He loves the martial arts traditions, and that's what I believe sets us apart, sets GMA apart from all other promotions that I know of in the world. So, you know, this is where we train. You know, what kind of feeling do you get when you're in this?
It's beautiful. You know, like the first time I came here at this place, in the arena setup, I was like, wow, this is actually a gym. You know, like I would love to have that in Cambodia. I would love that the ring would have been this way. Like you can see, you can feel the tradition into it. You know, you can feel like I said before, all the details, not only on the show, but even in the gym itself. those small sculpture, the small, like you can feel it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
You can, and then you can see that Johnny put a lot of art
Yeah, he
into
does.
it, and then he put his heart into it. We can feel it just by seeing the place.
Yes.
So and I love this vibe.
Yeah.
I love this vibe.
And Johnny's a humble guy, and he would never say this himself, but Johnny is always working on the details here. He's his house is just right here. And sometimes we come in, he's got this big TV and it's his computer, and he's literally designing small details of this venue. He's like an architectural designer. He's just always improving it so it can be a good experience for the viewer and any participants and the spectator.
Then that's what makes it like amazing. Like when you care about the details, this is what change everything.
Yep.
And yes, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Like literally, I can feel it.
And every event, this was our fifth event, GMA 5, and every event that we've had has improved significantly, which is incredible to be a part of. I'm just honored to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And
knowing that you just started last year, and how it is actually like in not even a year
started in
of
August.
event. So you see, like not even a year, 10 months.
Yep.
Amazing job.
Yeah.
Amazing job.
It's because of the team, and Johnny's put together an incredible team. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So this is your first time to Vietnam, is that correct?
It's not my first time in Vietnam, but this is my first time coming for a martial arts event. Yes. I came, I live in Cambodia, so it's not too far from me. I've been in Cambodia for almost 10 years now. I'm half Cambodian. Actually, I'm Cambodian by my parents. I'm my original Cambodian, but I was born in France. But it's been 10 years in Cambodia, so I came a few times in Vietnam. I love Ho Chi Minh. I love Da Nang, Hue, this kind of part.
Yeah.
I never been more north of it.
Yep.
But yeah, every time I have the chance to come to Vietnam, I'm coming. And if you guys inviting me for more events, I will be here for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're going to do the best we can. And I think we're going to have like super fights, and who knows what we're going to come up with for different opportunities to get the fighters in the ring and represent, your country's martial art. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your journey in martial arts.
Yeah.
Why did you start, and kind of take us through that?
So basically, so I came in Cambodia like 10 years ago-ish, and I started straight away actually to go to the Kun Khmer gym, and actually I'm ashamed to say it, but before to come to Cambodia, I never knew that we have martial arts, our own martial arts, and when I came to Cambodia, it's like, we actually have our own martial art, the Kun Khmer, the Bokator. And when I saw that, I felt like I need to do something.
Yes.
I need to help promote the sports outside Cambodia.
Yes.
And that was my goal. And that still is my goal.
I'm sorry, remind me, how old were you when you came to Cambodia?
When I arrived, I was 25.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 25. I'm 35 today.
Okay.
And it's what's so weird for me to not know that we have our own martial arts.
Yep.
When I was in France, and so I came, I see that, I was like, it's amazing. We do have that. We have all those pros, all those gym, all those things, but we are staying inside the country.
Yes.
And really traditional, really old school. So I was like, okay, I need to do something. I need to help the sport to be more international.
Exactly.
And this is what I want to do. This is my main goal today.
That's fantastic.
By doing a gym, I have my own gym, the Ring Kun Khmer, that I co-founded almost 3 years ago. I have my own brand, Khmer Flow, with the slogan, "We don't play Kun Khmer." I'm trying to work on media, not only the fighting aspects, but even outside the ring. How can we make it more famous?
Yes.
And this is what I want to do today.
Awesome.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, I think, the whole world knows about Muay Thai.
Yes.
you know, and perhaps that's one of the reasons perhaps it kind of overshadows the Kun Khmer, and maybe it's because there's not as much production in Kun Khmer and things like that. But and I'm actually, you know, it wasn't until recently until, you know, I became a promoter and a recruiter till I learned about Kun Khmer.
Yeah.
And I understand there's some relationship between Muay Thai and Kun Khmer. Could you share a little bit about what those differences are?
So we have the same roots, you know, like Kun Khmer, Muay Thai, Lethwei, Muay Lao, and Tomoy. We have the same roots. Tomoy is from Malaysia. And because, you know, like back in like the 1800s, the 800s, like after BC, how say, like AC, you know, like 18 years old.
Like 1,200 years ago.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We had the Khmer Empire, you know, like who was quite huge, and you can see on the walls of Angkor Wat that we were doing already some martial arts. You know, all those moves that you can see in Muay Thai, all those moves that you can see in Kun Khmer, Bokator, Muay Boran, it was already on the walls. And after, you know, like the Khmer Empire just got smaller, like got weaker, and Thailand arrived, other countries arrived, and then everyone has his own, at the end, own martial arts, you know. Yeah. This is why it's so similar. Okay. So who's coming first? Who's, you know, like, who's the origin is always the same battle. You know, like, of course, Khmer, we said we're the first one. Muay Thai, we say we're the first one. Or Lethwei is going to say we're the first one. Like,
no one's going to say we're fourth.
Exactly. And I respect that. You know, like, I will never say something bad about Muay Thai. I will never say something bad about Lethwei. Just said, like, I did some Muay Thai. You know, like, I did some Muay Thai. I went to Thailand and I practiced Muay Thai. And in Cambodia, I practiced Kun Khmer. I can say it. You know, like, and I'm pretty sure as an amateur or someone who doesn't know that much into martial art, if you put Kun Khmer, you put Muay Thai, you don't see that much difference, like at the eyes of a non-professional. But when you look into it, really, you can see the difference. You know, like, say Muay Thai will be more technical, more about the beauty out of it. You know, like every movement will be like so gracious. And Cambodia, Kun Khmer will be more aggressive. They just like standing and just pushing. I want to go fast and strong. A lot of elbows.
We saw that on Friday night, and that was, I myself was very impressed by that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can say, like, why today, one of the reasons why today Muay Thai it's more famous than Kun Khmer. It's actually like what we had in Cambodia because of the Khmer Rouge back to 75 to 79. We lost all of masters, or like one fourth of I don't know, like millions of people died, you know, because of it, and we lost so many things. So we were like, we had to rebuild from scratch, and it was really tough. But step by step, we are coming back. Step by step, we are making it, and I'm trying my best to help. And you know, like back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, all the pop culture that you can find was actually using Muay Thai. You know, like if you see like street fighters, Sagat is a Muay Thai fighters. It helps being more famous. Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he did the Kickboxer movie, you know, like he was using Muay Thai, you know, like so Muay Thai today is part of the pop culture. You can see more anime, more mangas who's using Muay Thai fighters, video games, TV shows. It became part of something, you know, and this is what we need to do with Kun Khmer. We'll try to put it on the pop culture too, and if we can touch the Western world, then we can be more famous.
For sure.
You know.
So you know, here at God's Martial Arts, as you know, we just started an English channel to make it more international into the English world. So how could we help spread the word about Kun Khmer throughout the world.
This is actually what you do. It's amazing. You know, like giving the chance to like to fight in your promotion, and saying that it's Kun Khmer. You know, like we're using Kun Khmer as a striking, our striking games, a striking strategy. It's helping quite a lot already. You know, but yeah, step by step. The more we talk about it, the more people know about it, and that there is a huge difference between Muay Thai and Kun Khmer. That is not the same thing. That's important to say.
Yes.
That we exist, that we are here, even if we're a small country, even if we lost a lot, like the past few years, we still exist,
Yeah,
and
for
we are
sure.
trying. We are trying to be here, and we want to bring this art to the world.
For sure.
Yeah.
In what, compared to the media production in Thailand and Cambodia, does that play a part in it? Does Thailand have more, publicity and broadcasting?
Of course, like first, they have way more budget, and the government is helping a lot, promoting Muay Thai. Like they're using it as a way to attract some tourists. Like they even do some visa. If you want to learn about Muay Thai, you can have a visa for that. So
Really?
yeah, this is actually a good thing. Like they will. Last time I went to Singapore, funny, I was in Singapore and I was looking at the billboard. I think it was AirAsia, and you could see, "Come to train Muay Thai in Thailand." In Singapore,
Wow.
So they are promoting it around the world, and this is pretty good. Like today, Cambodia, we are smaller, we have less budget. I'm pretty sure they are thinking about it, but we have to do it right. We have to do it right. We have to think a way to how we can use this art to promote, how we can use this art to attract people. We want also to have some. Let's say, okay, you want to do a fight camp? Cambodia is here to do a fight camp. Like a 1 month fight camp, you want to learn about the art, you can do it in Cambodia. We should, like find this kind of projects, this kind of attractiveness to bring some people.
So just so we understand, so you guys have programs in Cambodia for foreigners to come in and learn Kun Khmer.
There's a few gym today. There's a few gym that is open for the public, because actually a lot of gyms, Kun Khmer gyms, are more only for professional, only for Khmer professional, so Cambodian professional. So it's not open to the public.
So you have to be a Kun Khmer professional, not MMA professionals.
No, just Kun Khmer. We don't have actually that much MMA.
Okay.
We have a few places that do MMA, but it's really little today.
What would you say the most prominent MMA gym is in Cambodia?
I would say Cambodia top team. We could see that they did really good during the event. 4 fighters,
they
3
did.
wins.
Yeah, man.
It was great. They are really, really, really good. And step by step, like we're coming, like MMA is coming to the. It will take some time to be big, but I can see there's some will to change. I can see there's some will to have more sports, more martial arts, combat sports.
And this is supported by the government?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the MMA Federation.
Okay.
And stuff, so, step by step.
Let's say like some folks from Vietnam wanted to go and learn some Kun Khmer in Cambodia. Would they be able to get visa into Cambodia? Would they help them out with that? Make it a little less expensive?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. I'm pretty sure it's something that the government try to do, but not yet. Not that I know of. But in Cambodia, it's easier to have a visa to stay long term, which is good, and then they can go to a few gyms, like the few gyms in Phnom Penh, the capital, where you can learn Kun Khmer. Where you can learn Kun Khmer. In my gym, the Ring Kun Khmer, we open for everyone Khmer expat tourists. We were talking about Cambodia top team,
Yeah.
and there's like a few other gyms. Also, we are not that big yet. In terms, it's not like every 100 meters we have like a gym. We have maybe like 4 or 5 gyms in total.
Yeah.
Open for the public, but
But your gym,
yes.
you don't have to be a professional Kun Khmer to
No.
train there. So you even let a guy like me train there.
Yeah, of course. Like, we're open for everyone. We have some like memberships and stuff. So just people who just want to do it as a hobby, just a way to lose weight or else. But we also have a pro team. Like
Okay,
the guys
of course.
that I sent to your show are pro fighters, which is different from the hobby leisure parts.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the gym that are international do the same. They have like the amateur leisure part, and you have the pro part. Yes.
Would you say the epicenter of Kun Khmer is in Phnom Penh?
Yes, I would say yes. Like maybe 50%, 60% of the gyms, the biggest gym will be Phnom Penh and the surrounding. And after you, of course, you have some in Siem Reap, where Angkor Wat is. You have a gym there. You have a gym some in small city, like still big city like Battambang,
Okay.
kind of stuff. But it's like really a minority. But at the end, all the big show who's doing like Kun Khmer fights will be in Phnom Penh. Will be in Phnom Penh. And during the rainy season, they all do on the studio because like otherwise it's open to everyone. Actually, all the shows in Cambodia are free. If you want to
Really?
fight, you want to see a fight, Kun Khmer fights, everything is free for everyone. So you don't have to pay like a
Wow.
VIP ticket or else.
So they're
It's free.
really trying to grow the sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's huge because, like, if you go like during the non-rainy seasons, you go to a show, you can see like more than 10,000, 20,000 people coming to the show. It's amazing, even for the fighters. Like fighting in front of those people is just wow, amazing experience.
Wow.
And like it's broadcasted in front of million of people is watching live. Also like on Facebook and YouTube. It's huge.
Wow. Yeah, that's
It's
incredible.
huge, but it's huge inside the country. And what we want to do we want to make it worldwide.
Absolutely. In this stadium that you talk about in Phnom Penh, what's the name of the stadium?
So we don't have like a stadium like you can find in Thailand, like the Raja or the Lumpini. It's more like studio, TV channel studio. So and then transform the studio as an arena. So you have a few in Bayonne, Town TV, Angmir, like you have actually almost 20 shows per week.
20 shows a week?
Yes, from Thursday to Sunday. It's crazy, and each show has between 4 to 7 fights, kind of.
There's no wonder you guys' records are like 156
Yes.
and 19.
Yeah.
When I started looking at you guys' records, I was like, wow, these guys have got some competition experience.
They literally fight almost every week, every 2 weeks. Now the federation, actually the Kun Khmer Federation, put a rule that you can't fight like after 9 days. You have to wait 9 days before to fight again. You can fight before if you win, for example, on a knockout on the first round and you're not damaged at all.
Yeah.
But after like a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight, you have to wait a minimum of 9 days before to fight again. Now they care about the fighters,
Yeah, of
and
course.
before sometimes it's just like, okay, you're gonna fight Sunday and you're gonna fight again on Thursday. Sometimes even, okay, Thursday and another show on Sunday. And it's dangerous. It's
Yeah,
dangerous
man.
for the fighters.
Yeah, man.
Of course, they need money. They need to fight for money, but still, we need to take care of the health. So it's good that they implement some new rules.
What's the shortest amount of time you've seen a fighter take fights?
2 days.
2 days.
I really see a guy I was fighting on Friday evening, a full 5-round fight, and he fight again on Sunday, a full 5-round fight too. And just thinking about it, it's even dangerous for the show. Like, for example, okay, that he's gonna fight on Fridays. If something happened on Friday, how, can you
Yeah.
make sure that he's gonna be able to fight on Sunday? And if the fighter is getting injured, so you have only 48 hours to find a new fighter.
Yeah.
And for me, this is the last minute thing, like because when you do a fight camp, you have to prepare. You have a game plan for your training, and it's like, oh, you're gonna fight tomorrow. It's like, wait, what? Like I'm not. My body is not prepared for it. Even if his mind is ready, but his body is not.
Yeah.
And we should try to avoid as maximum this, like kind of late notice or having 5 fights in 1 month. Like it's.
That's a lot, man.
That's.
I mean, MMA like 5 in 1 year.
Yes.
Is a lot.
Exactly.
Yep. So, what are some of the things that you've seen? Have you seen any tragedies in fighters' health and injuries and things like that because of this rapid?
Actually, like one of my fighter, like he's not even fighting that much. Like in term, like of course he do fight a lot, but like once every 3 weeks, but it's okay. We'll say once every 3 weeks. But like he has his pain on the elbow, and he was like, okay, maybe something not serious, like so he was pushing, and just actually before a huge fight, it was a 4-man marathon for a belt. He had to withdraw, like it was this huge opportunity for him. It was the biggest fight ever. He had to withdraw because actually his elbow was shattered. Like you just touch it, you could just like even like just pass out because of the pain. Like and he was just pushing, and sometimes this is what they do. Is like, okay, I need money, so they're gonna push and push and push and push, and at the end you have to stop for 3-4 months because you didn't stop enough, like soon enough. Like so they have to listen to the body, and they have to be careful. This kind of things, and just listen to your own body. You see something's wrong, just check it out.
For sure.
Yeah.
And fighters are reluctant to do that, because they want to keep fighting.
Yeah. I know. And every time, like I said, no, you can't fight. Of course, they will get mad. Like they just want to fight. But after, like, they understand why we do that, why we don't allow them to fight. But of course, it can be frustrating for them because they are ready for this. They are literally training 5 hours per day. Like twice a day. So it's I can understand the frustration sometimes, but they have to think about their career, like the life, the professional life.
Yeah, and when you're 22, you're not necessarily thinking about
exactly. Like when they're 20, they always want to dream big. Oh, I want to fight for the belt. I want to do this. I want to. You're 20. You still have 15 years ahead of you. Like. Take your time, step by step. We're gonna get there, but step by step. Don't rush and end your career at 22, 23, like, and that happens sometimes,
Yeah, it's crazy talking to these young kids. I've heard 19-year-olds tell me, oh, it's too late for me to start grappling. It's too late for me to get in this. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
Some people start in their 50s.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of the young kids, they think like, oh, if I'm going to do MMA, I need to win the UFC championship. You don't need to do that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
That's it's funny, like when you see like those young kids, like 17, 18, 19, because they go in a ring, they go in a cage, and they are fighting for their life. Like they're giving their heart into it. And sometimes I forgot that they are just kids. Because like in the media, they can million of people like are following them, but at the end, I forgot they are kids. Like it's such a brutal violence. A lot of respect, discipline, of course, but like I see them as adults. I see them as professionals, but at the end, they are just kids. So we have to be careful of that.
But their minds. Yeah. They're going to have a strong mind for the rest of their life.
Yes.
And that's not something you can teach once you get to a certain age. You're not going to be able to teach that mentality when you start fighting when you're 6 years old and competing when you're 6 years old. That's a lifetime of mental strength right there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Now it's real dedication. It's real dedication. If you do that, you can't do anything else. When you're thinking about fighting, this is the only thing you can think of. Nothing else matters. you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't be distracted, you know. Like you can't go, oh, I'm just going and let's see how it goes. No, you can't do that. You have to be there 100%, even 150%
Yeah,
all the time.
It's a big sacrifice.
Yes,
It's a big sacrifice for sure. So outside of, talking about Kun Khmer,
Yeah.
outside of Cambodia, where would you say the biggest Kun Khmer communities are globally?
So you have a small community in France, in Bordeaux. Bordeaux, they have actually a good gym there. They brought a lot of Kun Khmer fighters here in Cambodia to fight here, and they are pretty good. You have also a small thing in the States. In the States, I think around like California and stuff. You have also like, because you have a big Khmer community there in Long Beach, and I know there's a gym also in Canada.
Really?
But it's really small, you know, like you can count it like less than 10 outside Cambodia.
Okay. Outside, there's less than 10 countries that have
less than 10 clubs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know that Russia also has some a part of in Kun Khmer, and what I saw, they're gonna open one in China soon. So step by step, you know, like we can grow. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it's gonna be. But
yeah, and you're a big part of this movement to globalize.
I'm trying.
Globalize Kun Khmer,
Yeah.
and that's really cool.
I really try to do something more of a lifestyle. You know, like of course you have the sport, but you have everything around. For today, for example, you don't have a proper big brands for Kun Khmer. What, for example, like in Muay Thai, you have Fairtex, Twins, all the stuff. In Kun Khmer, you don't have that. I'm trying to bring that. But of course, there's a lot of investment, a lot of things. But we should do these kind of things. You know, like focus, of course, on the training, focus on the gym, focus on the art itself. But everything around, we should do something about it too.
Yeah.
And this is, I guess, what I'm trying to add as a value. You know, like, because all the actors today in Cambodia, most of them are really traditional, really old school. Few of them can speak English, for example, you know. So asking them to make it some marketing out of it, so some business out of it, can be difficult when you know only about training and fighting, you know.
Yeah,
because it's another work, and it's another business, these kind of things. And I'm trying to bring that into the sport.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very interesting to see, Kun Khmer and seeing it on stage here at God's Martial Arts. Very impressive.
Yes.
Very impressive. Yep. So just so I can understand a little bit more about the differences between Kun Khmer and Muay Thai. Both started at a young age.
Yes.
5, 6 years old.
Yes.
They're kicking bamboo trees and stuff like that. What about the clinch and the trips?
The clinch is actually similar too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really similar. Working on the clinch quite a lot. You have some clincher, you have some strikers. What the difference, really the difference between Kun Khmer and Muay Thai will be the scoring system.
Is the what?
The scoring system.
Oh, the scoring system.
Yes.
Okay.
The scoring system. You know, like in Cambodia, it's a 20 points scoring system.
Okay.
In Muay Thai, I'm not sure, I'm not an expert on Muay Thai, but I know it's different. Sometimes we just judge, like if the fighters, like it has a beautiful, like technique. You know, like instead of just the efficiency out of it. Like Kun Khmer will be more efficiency. If he hits hard, you get the points. If you touch but doesn't hit hard, you don't get the points. For example, you know, like it's more efficiency than the beauty itself. Like I know that in Thailand sometimes they will give the win to the fighter because he has a beautiful technique.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
he had a beautiful technique and it was
so-
beautiful to
that's
watch.
So interesting.
So it can give, and I can understand, you know, like it's a sport, combat sport, but it's also an art,
Yes.
you know. So I guess it's a mix of it. So yeah, the scoring system would be different between those two sports.
Yep. And in Kun Khmer, can you do the trips?
Yes.
In Kun Khmer.
Yeah, you can't, you know, like cross the leg to make it thick, but you can sweep
You
it
can
like
sweep it.
sweep
It has
it,
to look like a kick,
yes,
not a
Not
not
a-
a judo throw.
not a judo throw. You cannot
Yeah.
do a judo
And
throw.
you can't clamp behind.
You can't.
You can't. do
No,
that.
you cannot. You cannot. We have actually a rule. It's not only in Cambodia, but it's called the mass fight. It's coming from China. It's a 9-minute round, striking and standing submission. Only one round of 9
Standing
minutes.
submission.
Standing submission. So you can
Like arm triangle, someone standing.
you can do that. It's a one round only, and you can win only by knockout or submission. If there's no
And it's
knockout,
9
no
minutes
submission,
long.
yes, 9 minutes long. It's
Wow.
freaking long. So there's only one referee, no judges, because if no one is on the ground at the end, it's a tie.
Okay. So what happens in that round when someone goes to the ground, when they go to the ground? What
On the
happens?
ground, so and on the grappling, you mean?
No, I mean like in this. So like the standing submission, the 9-minute round. Can
Yep.
you, if you go to the ground, you have to stand back up.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. If you fail, you just like separate
Okay.
thing up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And for the cardio of the fighters, 9 minutes, damn.
That's a long.
That's a long round.
Yeah.
But it's a good experience for them. It's a really good experience for them, and I want my guy to do it at least once to know what it is to be like 9 minutes
Yeah.
non-stop.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You have to have a huge mental,
Yes.
like
Yeah,
and a good
absolutely.
strategy too to not
Yeah.
gas out,
And that just comes with number of fights.
Yeah.
You got to get time in, and fights in, and fighting every weekend like you guys do. It gives you guys a real advantage when you're going up against, MMA fighters
Yeah.
who might only get 4 or 5 fights
Sure.
a year. So I think this new movement we have in Southeast Asia, I think all of the good things about each tradition, we're all learning from each other, and we're all going to grow together.
Yes, and this is a
Right.
good thing. This is why I wanted to come with you guys. This is why I wanted my fighters to come to your show, because I see what you are doing for the martial arts,
Yeah.
like in Southeast Asia today. I hope worldwide really soon, and I see I want the Ring Kun Khmer to be part of it.
Of course.
Like I want the Ring Kun Khmer to be part of it. This is why, even if we are not the MMA gym, but we had the opportunity to come and represent, I was like, let's do it. And what I loved about my fighters is like, even they never did MMA before, they said yes straight away.
That's right, man.
Like, this is the true warriors, like they never back out from a fight, like they're just like, let's do it. It's gonna be a good experience. I'm gonna learn a lot out of it, so let's do it.
And that's one of the things that I myself noticed in this GMA 5 this past weekend, is because I'm looking at the records. I'm looking at these guys got over 100 Kun Khmer fights,
Yeah.
MMA debut.
Yeah.
And they
Exactly.
just learned about this a few months ago, right? And so that's courage. You know what I mean? Anytime you go into a fight when the probability outcome is failure or uncertainty, especially when you have a guy who's known and a celebrity
Yep.
of the sport, Kun Khmer, a lot of people don't want to lose,
Yeah.
and for these guys to come here to do their first fight at the risk of losing,
Yes.
when they have a 95% win rate, that's courage.
It is.
That's courage.
And this is why I was so impressed by them. Like when you contacted me, I was like, actually, I don't have any MMA fighters. But you know what? I'm going to ask my guys. You know what? Okay, I have this opportunity in Ho Chi Minh, May, to fight MMA.
I remember that. Oh my God, I remember that conversation. You're like, yeah, we don't have any MMA fighters. And then I called you a few weeks ago, and I was like, hey, you got any MMA fighters? We do now.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And this is what I loved about this. Guys, I was like, you know what? I want to try. Like they knew that's going to be hard, but they give their hearts into training. They give their hearts to give the maximum for it, and even for them, at least they know how it is. So if they want to fight again in MMA, they know what they expect.
Yes.
and now they know how to train, they know how to do. So if we have the chance to fight again in this promotion,
Yep.
we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it right this time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what you guys, I'm sure, had some conversations after Friday night about the fights. These types of events, are, change your mindset about fighting and perhaps even your view on life.
Yeah.
What were the kind of conversations between Alex and Saul that night? Like, what were they thinking? How were they feeling?
But there's like different school, like Alex Kale is a French fighter. He did it by passion, like he did it by passion. He came to the sport. He didn't have to. He did it because he wanted to. So it was more his choice. And at the end, he came. He wanted to experience it, but he knows that it's not his. I would say like his way. Like the MMA, he knows, he tried. I'm not sure I'm gonna see him again in an MMA cage or ring. But Sojourn is different. He's doing this for his family. He left Myanmar to come to Cambodia in my gym. I give him a lot of opportunities, and he's doing that because like what happened with all those Khmer fighters, Muay Thai fighters. They start very young. It's kind of the same for Sojourn. He decided to do it for his family. He want to, and he saw the potential that there is behind MMA. So after his loss, he actually was touched about it. He's like really emotional because he knows that it was the first. Like all his family is watching it, but he doesn't want to give up. He said, "I want to do it again." Actually, he was Sojourn. Yes,
yeah.
He loved it, and I'm sure that if I give him the opportunity, or you give him the opportunity to fight again, he will do it. He will do it again. He wants to do it.
That's awesome.
he loved it. He really loved it. He loved the trainings. He loved this, and it changed. He started as a lightweight, became a Kun Khmer fighter, and now he did his debut in MMA. He wants to play in those 3 leagues, and he can. This guy is a machine, and I know he can. So now he's going back to Myanmar a little bit to see his family and stuff. But I know that this fight changed his mind. That he said, okay, maybe I want to do it again.
Yes.
And I will try again. I will train and I will try again.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious, what's the transition like between, from Lethwei, which is, bare knuckle and headbutts.
Yes.
Which is like the most brutal martial art, man. To, Kun Khmer, Kun Khmer and MMA. What's the transition like?
Lethwei and Kun Khmer, of course, there's a huge difference. Like you can't use your head. You don't have gloves, so the protection is different. Like when you have the glove, it's protected by 10 ounce, 8 ounce.
Yeah.
So you can just put it here. The hands doesn't go. Like a bare knuckle fights, it's crazy. Bare knuckle. So when you do, so they don't have that much clinch in Lethwei because it's super. You get in, you can put the head. So you don't clinch that much. So when he comes to Cambodia, it was really difficult for him at first. And having something on the hands, it's heavy. So he wasn't prepared for that too. So his first fight actually in Kun Khmer was difficult for him because when he arrived, I think I gave him a fight 2 or 3 weeks just after he came. Just to, and in a big show. Like he was already main event.
Right in the fire.
He did really good. He did really good for his first fight. I remember he lost by points, but he still did it really good. But like it's the transition wasn't so hard at the end. Of course, he has to adjust, like in the clinching and how to punch, how to keep your hands up with the gloves, and not use your head, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But then when we come from Kun Khmer to MMA, this is more difficult, of course, because like going on the ground, having someone to try to take to do a takedown, like how do you defend this, like standing up, even like standing position would be different, like in MMA you would be more like on the ground, not to be so, and in Kun Khmer you're gonna stay tall, You know, like even the position is
Which
is
exposed you to double leg attacks.
Exactly.
And then you're on the ground, and now what are you going to do?
Exactly. So it was really difficult for them, and they just have like a couple months to prepare for that.
Yeah.
But still, they give everything. But they, you know, like when you're a fighter, it's in your blood. You know, it's in your vein.
Yes.
And they can adapt easily. They can adapt fast. You know, like I'm not saying it's easy for them, but it's easier than if you are starting from scratch. You know?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So what was it like? You know, you guys started training at Kiri
Yes.
Jiu-Jitsu
Kiri Jiu-Jitsu.
about 6 months ago, correct?
So we started, I think, in February.
February,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So less than 3 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, Kuri are really good in Jiu-Jitsu. They are one of the best actually in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
It's really good in Jiu-Jitsu, but still it's different. Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, it's also different. So, but they learn quite a lot, of course, and that opened their eyes that it's gonna be tough, and but they didn't back out. So this is what it was good, you know, like, and they try to mix because it's not the same gym, so they started to train at the ring. Then at the end of the day, they have to go to Kuri to train another sport. So it was difficult, but I think they like it. They liked it to know something else, to change the routine. Because when you train 5 hours a day, the same thing, repetition over, at one point it can be like a lot, you know, like giving another goal, giving another way to train. I'm pretty sure they loved it, you know.
Yes.
And we see like if we can have another partnership, or maybe at the ring we can think about having some MMA coach. Like I just want to expand. You know, like if I can grow, why not having MMA class? You know.
Yeah, and you could even do some small grappling competitions.
Yeah.
There.
We can.
You know, and just to kind of grow it. Because you need grappling for. Of course. For MMA, for sure.
Oh, of course.
You cannot ignore it.
No.
And
how to defend it.
And then when you're on top,
you
have to know when to slow the fight down. You know, and I was very impressed with the Kun Khmer fighters. In GMA 5.
Yeah.
Got some good takedowns, and when they got on top, they were able to control the hips and hold their opponent down. I wasn't expecting that because I watched a lot of those videos from all the Kun Khmer fighters, and I was pretty impressed by the way that they've adapted to MMA.
Yeah, they did a really good job. So that's really, really good job. When I saw like the Cambodia top team fighters, I was super impressed. I was super impressed on how they did. You know, like, and I was like, wow, they can be amazing because they are amazing fighter even in Kun Khmer, like a standing position, and now that they can bring it also on the floor. I respect that. I respect that, and hopefully we can do something also with them to grow together. You know, like we are not trying to be just individualist. Just okay, I have my gym. I just think about my gym. The fact that we are representing Cambodia, we are representing Kun Khmer. We should hold hands. You know, like together, and I'm sure that they have the same will than me.
So you guys in Cambodian top team, you guys work together? You guys?
We are not working closely together, but the fact that we are not far from each other in terms of distance, we are sharing actually our students. Some of my students go to Cambodia top team gym. Some of the Cambodia top team coming to the ring.
And that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Because they're having 2 memberships, so they just go with me or go with them. And the fact that the founder is a Khmer American. He's a Khmer American. So
Han Chunrich?
Yeah, Han Chunrich is a Khmer American. So it's easier also to discuss. We have also this Western mentality that helps. I'm not saying that because we're Western, like a Western mentality that it change everything, but we're coming with a new approach of the sports, and we're trying to modernize it.
Yes.
And this is
expand it.
Exactly, and I can see that they have the same will than me. So we are seeing all the time, like in all the shows. Of course, my guys are fighting his guys, and sometimes we just like here coming to the same show, fighting other countries. But yeah, like we are for sure gonna work closely together
Yes.
now. You know?
That's good to see.
Yeah.
That's good to see. And as we know, in martial arts in general,
Yes.
you know, sometimes there can be politics among gyms.
Yeah, but no.
You know, and,
we're
but,
trying not to put that.
but
no.
but and it's good to see that the Cambodian teams are kind of working together.
Yes.
In the interest of growing the sport internationally.
Of course, this is the most important. You know, like we can't just stay by yourself in a small corner. It's like, oh, I'm the best. I don't need anyone else. No, that's not true. We have to help each other. We want to grow, so we need each other to. Of course, there will be some rivalry, obviously.
Of
Of course, but it's good. It's healthy. You know,
Yeah.
it's healthy as long like we are keeping each other up. You know, like helping, growing together. This is what we need. This is what we want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another thing that was impressive is the sportsmanship after the fights.
Yeah.
You know, and you just the coaches coming together,
Yes.
shaking each other's hands
Yes.
and stuff. Especially after some of the brutal fights. We love seeing that, and that's what God's martial arts is
Yes.
about. You know,
And
it's about
respect.
bringing us all together.
Yeah, and respect is the most important thing, especially in martial arts. You know, like this is what I love about, especially like in Asia, we can see the respect. Each fighters, you see after the fight, they're always like hugging each other. There's no trash talk. There's no because they know that what's happening in the ring is something else. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a sport, it's a competition. But outside
They
the
don't
ring,
have time to trash talk. They got to fight every 3 days.
outside the ring is you just respect, and
Yeah.
I love it about that. You know, like they can give, like they can try to kill them inside the ring, but when the ring is ringing, at the end it's like it's finished. Now we can hug, we can
Yes.
have like a meal together.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know, and this is what I love about in here.
Yes, that's good. Because of your relationship with Kiri Jiu-Jitsu, which, as you said, is one of the best
Yeah.
grappling gyms in Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I haven't been myself yet.
Yeah.
I'd love to visit sometime. Do you see Kun Khmer and grappling kind of merging together a little bit more as we go forward because of MMA promotions like God's Martial Arts, in the years to come? Do you think the gyms are going to be kind of closer together?
Hopefully, because I know that, of course, we don't have a lot of grappling experts in Cambodia. Really, like
Yes.
I think, it's difficult to find like experts. So most of them will go to Kiri to have some knowledge, which is good. You know, like, and they're helping each other. You know, like Kiri is like, they say like, of course, please come. You know, like, please come. They want you to help as much as possible, and which is amazing. You know, and the same, like, if the grappling guy wants to learn about striking, they're coming to our gym. Like, it's a giving situation.
Yes.
And this is what we want to do. And the fact that Kiri is willing to help the strikers,
Yeah.
it's amazing, you know. And this is also what we love, just friendship between gyms. Even it's not the same sport, but it's going to help for like another goal, then they are 100% in.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's good.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah. So, do you have any other thoughts? Any other questions about Gods of Martial Arts, Vietnam, the growth of MMA throughout Southeast Asia as we come near the end of the show today?
Yeah. Well, just will you contact me again for that? For
Yeah, of course.
to be in.
Of course, man. Always, of course, absolutely.
But no, yeah, like
And I would love to come visit
Yeah,
your gym,
please.
man. I really would love.
please come to Cambodia. Please
Yeah.
come to see Kun Khmer fights.
Yeah.
To see how it is there. It's totally different, a different vibe, but it's traditional. It's nice. It's something that everyone should see in Cambodia, at least to see one fight.
I'm excited now. Just hearing the passion in your voice just makes me want to go there. and I'm sure a lot of our viewers here in Vietnam and throughout the world, are now have an understanding and would love to see these. It's kind of like a football match in Argentina.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar.
Like
right?
Argentina, Brazil. Like you have to go and see it.
And it's just like the world doesn't know about it yet.
Yes.
Yeah, and when they do, there's going to be more international attention and more international support, which grows martial arts globally.
Yes.
As a sport. Yep.
Yeah, and this is what we want to do. This is what also you help with, we loved it. And but yeah, like if we can bring Kun Khmer to the world, like to people know about Kun Khmer, it will be a huge milestone for us.
Yeah.
And thank you for helping.
Of course.
Hey,
anything I can do, I'm honored to help. And you're a big part of that. You're a big part of this global movement.
I'm trying to.
Come on, for sure.
I'm trying to.
For sure.
I'm doing my best. I know, like for several decades, I will still be in it. Yeah. I will do my best to improve it. I will do my best to promote it, and hopefully one day I can see my dream of having Kun Khmer in the top of the world.
Absolutely. That's cool. Don't forget, we have grappling competitions here in Vietnam throughout the year. So if you guys are interested in doing something like that, we can make that happen, which will help grow the sport, help grow everything. So
yes, for sure. Yeah. We can talk with Kiri about it. Maybe bring some Khmer grapplers.
We could do? We could do a grappling event and only Kun Khmer fighters who've never grappled before,
we can try. It can be interesting,
That would be fun.
It's having like some basketball player doing some football.
Let's just create events that's never happened before.
Yeah, true.
Just make it interesting, right? Just make it interesting in any way we can.
Yeah, for sure. We can do anything. We can do anything. And I'm pretty sure the Khmer fighters are open for everything.
I think so too.
Yeah. It's just like, let's try.
Yeah.
Let's try. We have nothing to lose.
What about, now that you say that, what about an event in Angkor Wat? Do you think you could pull that off?
It would be amazing, to be honest. It would be amazing.
Man.
Yeah.
The Kun Khmer global community is relying on you for that.
All right, let's do that.
Awesome, man. Hey, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm really glad that I was here to talk about Kun Khmer.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Really glad that my fighters came for your show, and it was an amazing event.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can see more of your events.
Sure.
And anytime you are inviting me here in Ho Chi Minh, I will be there.
Yeah, for sure. And remember that we're going to have super fights, that's going to be in addition to the tournament. So there could be opportunities for your fighters to do super fights this year.
Okay.
Even. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. So if you're calling us, we're gonna be there.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. And that wraps up episode 7 of GMA Beyond the Fights. Our next event is next month, June 28th, here at GMA Arena, June 28th, and this is going to be a Vietnamese only event, and we're excited to see you there. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Yep. I gotta go.